Hey guys, it's Kyle Field from CleanTechnica coming to you today from the Evolved Carbon GT 2-in-1 board with the all-terrain wheels on it. This thing is quite a beast. Not only does it have more power than the boosted board that I reviewed in the past, it's got quite a bit more range. This thing will go, instead of the 6 or 7 miles that the boosted board will go, this thing has a range of a rather insane 31 miles. I haven't put that fully to the test yet, but in the testing that I have done around town and in my neighborhood, it feels pretty accurate. I attribute that largely to the kind of radical design of the board. It actually has a carbon fiber deck. And what that means is that it is basically a shell for the batteries. So it allows for much more efficient, streamlined storage of the batteries within the board. And obviously allows them to pack a lot more capacity and efficiency with the lighter carbon fiber build into the board. So it's just a completely different take on a skateboard. I mean, it really transforms the way the board rides. In addition to being a longer range board, higher quality build, and extra power, it is a different design. So I'll pause here in a minute, pull over right here on this rather steep hill, and show you the build. I mean, obviously we've got these giant tires on it. So these are the all-terrain tires. It also comes with, this one is the 2-in-1, which refers to the different tire packs or options it has. So it has a regular set of street wheels that you can get on it, and it's got these actual air tires, which are all-terrain, meant for off-road. And it comes with a different belt drive kits at the bottom there. Right here you can see there's a belt on either side, and in the center it's got this double kingpin design, which allows for a crazy turning. So on the street wheels that it came with, and the motors in the back there behind the axle, I found that it really allowed the back to just kind of break free if you wanted it to. And so that's a testament to kind of that carver downhill riding style that some people are into, where they really want the back wheels to break free. They're looking for that kind of carving, sliding style of riding, and you can see that on Evolved's website, where they do kind of a pretty regular video series. They just started a weekly series, and they've got a pretty good archive of video content where they actually test the sliding of their different boards. They've got kind of a single motor board, they've got a double motor board, and then they've got this GT series with 2 different deck options. They've got a bamboo option, a bamboo line, and they've got this carbon line. This is kind of the top end of both. So it's got the upgraded carbon board, the dual motors, and the GT series. So it's kind of just the ultimate beast mode version of their line. It comes with a steep price tag as a result. It's got the 2-in-1 wheel option, and so that ends up netting out at about $2,200 US. You can get the normal GT series board for about $2,000, and it just steps down from there, with the normal dual motors board being a little bit cheaper, the single motor board being cheaper than that, and the bamboo decks obviously being kind of the lower end as well. But this Evolve board just packs a ton of power and a ton of range. So what that translates into, again, I'm a very pragmatic person, and so in the real world, this board, this longer range, this more efficient deck, ultimately translates into a more practical board in a lot of ways. So you can actually use it as a commuter and travel some serious distances. So this isn't a board where you're going to be limited, to just getting off the bus or the subway and getting to where you're going, and vice versa from your home. But you can actually commute to work from your house in a lot of cases now with the board that packs this kind of range. So it really does up the ante in so many ways. And these all-terrain wheels that I wasn't really that excited about do that as well. So they really smooth out the ride. As with air tires on bicycles, the air and the tire acts as a kind of a built-in suspension for the deck and the ride. So it smooths it out. It smooths out a lot of the bumps in the road. If you hit a rock with these air tires, it's a lot more willing to just ride over it without punishing you so much in terms of just making you stop and eat it. So just a fantastic experience. I found the street wheels to be a bit harsh in that regard because the wheels do have so much power being applied to them, and it is built with that double kingpin design. They really did want to break free to the point where me, as just a downhill rider or a commuter rider, as I've grown into in my older age, less durable, less willing to accept bruises and scrapes as part of my normal daily commute, it really, the all-terrain wheels really make it more functional and just more fun. So I highly recommend trying all-terrain tires on a skateboard. I think it does really kind of extend the range of users, the age of users that would be comfortable on a board. Yeah, like I said, it really just transformed the experience for me. And took it from something that wasn't super comfortable, was almost too much power for me, to something that was very comfortable. And really enjoying the experience with these all-terrain wheels. As you can see, it does have a different controller. I'm not super fond of this controller. I'm controlling it with my pointer finger here, pushing it forward as I'm pointing it towards the camera. Actually slows it down. It is more of a deceleration with the motor. Compared to boosted board, boosted actually has a wheel, and when you slide that towards the decelerating function, it actually does, it will slow the motors down, but it'll actually crank them in reverse. So it has a forward and reverse, if you will, with kind of a braking function in between. This board is really just forward, so pulling back towards yourself like a trigger, if you will. The board accelerates quite rapidly, and then like I mentioned, the pushing the trigger forward towards the camera will actually slow the board down. You can see this thing has an LCD on it, which is really neat. It's got the miles per hour or kilometers per hour, so your speed on it, and it also has the ability to switch modes between a safe mode, eco mode, fast, and the GT, which is kind of the upgraded high performance mode. I found safe and eco to be almost non-functional for me. I attribute that to my weight. I'm 205 pounds, so I'm not a small guy. Also the hilly area that I'm testing it in. I like testing it in this neighborhood where I live because it is such a challenging neighborhood and environment for this board to be tested in. It also clocks on here the distance you've traveled, so you can see in the little testing I've done here, I've put on 1.1 miles, which is kind of neat. It's fun to have that on here. And also you have the ability to change the setting for the wheels that you have on it. So these are the larger tires, the all-terrain tires. And yeah, so you can adjust that, which obviously impacts how it calculates the speed of the board. You can see on this thing, I mean, the construction of this board is just ridiculous. So it's solid, not solid, it's carbon fiber front and back. It's the carbon series. You can see there's a little access panel here at the bottom. And then on the front of the board, under the grip tape, this is an actual panel as well, presumably for the maintenance of the batteries. That's probably not a user serviceable area, but it is kind of neat how well this thing is designed. It's pretty bomb-proof. And like I said, I'm really enjoying this board. I think the all-terrain tires and the combo of the long range and just the solid build of this thing make it a great option for people that actually do want to commute and not just use it for that last mile of getting around. So this is the Evolved GT Carbon Series board, and it's been a fantastic ride. So that's all I'm going to share for that for now. Check out our article on CleanTechnica for the more detailed written review. Thanks a lot.